So good morning. Maybe to start, you could just say your name, who you are, and then I would be interested, anything you want to say about the current state of Aneityum culture and language, what's happening, you know, with the culture, with the language, whatever you think is important.
Okay. Shall I start now or no? Okay. My name is Jack Keitadi, and I'm currently the secretary for the Aneityum Council of Chiefs, and also for the Aneityum chiefdom. And we have been, the traditional leaders have been trying to govern the island the way that our forefathers or our ancestors had been governing the island. And lately, with a lot of changes, we've made a lot of challenges. I say challenges because I know we can overcome them if we all work together. A lot of the younger people sort of shun the traditional ideas of governing, but the government is encouraging us to take on the leadership of the people, looking after them the way our ancestors looked after us, with a lot of changes that come in with the constitution. But I wish to thank a lot of researchers coming in to do work on the islands, because our culture is not written down. A lot of it has gone up with the people dying out. But with researchers, particularly on Aneityum, researchers coming in, the work in the islands, people like Professor Matthew Spriggs, and others who've worked in the islands, have preserved what the Aneityum people knew at one time about culture. Churches, though, did a lot of damage to our traditional way of life, but today a lot of the notes missionaries wrote down about Aneityum, very helpful to the people. So we both hate them and thank them for the same time for keeping our culture alive.
What are some of the important traditional customs or rituals that you still observe today?
I think the rituals of gardening, though died out at one time because of the depopulation of the islands. It's received revival from researchers working here and advising us to replant our gardens with traditional crops. And we have sort of took that up with the people. And marriage is so much, it's not before, it's not so much as before. It was arranged marriages before. So you had to marry somebody because of certain lineage in the traditionals, but now girls and boys sort of choose their own partners, and that has died out. But a few of the older families, the larger families, are still choosing brides from each crop, so to keep the, especially land, which is something that people just don't want to talk about, brings a lot of problems. Fishing methods. We have some traditional fishing methods that were practiced, and I did some documentation of some in 1985 with a video camera. It's in the National Archives in Vila. So I think apart from that one, most of the traditional fishing methods have died out. People use mostly fishing nets and gill nets, that is, and fishing lines. But with new species of crops coming in, like manioc, our main staple here being taro, sort of died out. And irrigation, which is part of our culture. A few people are still doing that, taro irrigations.